With another live stream. Welcome to another broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. You all couldn't have thought that I wouldn't have came through with my ordinary motivational Sabbath talk. Pound the like button on your way in. I want to talk about why you chosen ones make a lot of people uncomfortable. Practically everyone are uncomfortable in your presence. And I got to talk about the reasons why. Welcome to the Real Red Pill Truth. And as I speak, I want you all to feel free, if the Spirit compels you, to share scripture within the chat, because iron sharpens iron. I want to talk about why they're so uncomfortable. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you are nonconformist. You are not like anybody else. You're a royal priesthood. You're very peculiar. You're not systematic. Nothing is mundane about you, brothers and sisters, who've been through hell and back twice. You've been through abandonment. You've been through all the disparagement that one can handle. You've been through your trials and tribulations. You've been through the persecution. But nonetheless, you are still standing strong. Chosen ones, you radiate. There's a light that shines when you awaken to this truth. The seal of the Most High is on you. You become spiritually authoritative. You have authority in the spiritual realm. And this causes a great deal of fear, because people are dealing with their demons and battling with their vices, and the fact that you compel and radiate this spiritual authority, it causes a lot of fear. It causes a lot of fear in people. And it makes them very uncomfortable when you're around them, because you're basically holding a mirror up to their lives, and they don't like that. And the truth is, a lot of people just want to live in their own bubble, live in their own truth. A lot of people want to be highly opinionated and take that as fact. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why people are intimidated and uncomfortable by you is because you embrace reality. You embrace the truth. You refuse to have the hive-like mentality. You refuse to participate in this simulation, because this world we living in is a matrix. It's a simulation. It's systematic. Everybody's under control. Everybody has to have that herd mentality. Everybody have to go one direction. And the fact that you stand out, the fact that you have your own thoughts, you have your own opinions, but they're not in line with everyone else, people have a real issue with that. I dare you question my way of life. I dare you challenge my perception through your existence. Because that's what's happening, chosen ones. You challenge their perception through your very existence, because people are not used to real people. When I say it's so many people putting up on a front and a facade, it's so many people walking around giving you all a version of themselves. They're not being true to themselves. There's so many people who are fake. They flogging. It's to the point where it's so many people who put on different masks that they don't even know who they are. And if you can't look in the mirror and know who you are and what you represent, that's a real problem. See, chosen ones, you know exactly who you are. You know what you're about. You understand purpose. You know why you were here. And that makes people uncomfortable, because they're not used to people just being upfront and direct. They're not used to people being real. Whether you can agree or disagree with somebody, when somebody speaks the truth, they speak the truth. There's a lot of instances where As chosen ones, you will speak a message that's so true to your friends, family, colleagues, associates. And the only thing they could do is be quiet. You ever, by a show of ones, how many of you all have ever said something that was so true, the entire room didn't even know how to react to it? It's just like the whole room shut down. You in there with your family, your friends, people close to you, and they give you the blank stare of death. They give you this blank stare almost as if, how do I describe this look? They look at you as if you just warped their whole reality, and they don't know what to say. A part of them wants to go back into their comfort zone. You just slice through their spirits with truth. That makes people uncomfortable. People don't like when you're real. People like to be lied to. You know, the scriptures say that people will heap unto teachers to themselves that give them smooth words. Prophesy not to us truth, but tell us smooth things. Don't give us the good, the bad, the ugly. Don't give us that. Prophesy unto us lies. That's what people be wanting. And then when there's a person who's just real, authentic, you could be at your workplace and people are just intimidated by you. They don't want to be around you. They have a real issue with you. And let me put this out here. Chosen ones, it's not that you're trying to be role models out here. That's not what this is about. You're real models, not role models. Let me make this very clear. Chosen ones, you cannot do anything for the approval and acceptance of people. There's a part of you that literally can care less what people think. Because if you being your authentic self and you calling it like it is, the hell with what people think. Because one thing about chosen ones, you're not afraid to go it alone if you need be. That's another thing that makes people uncomfortable around you. The fact that they know that you can very easily walk away and not have nothing to do with anybody. The fact that they know that you can walk away and say, you know what? Hey, you got an issue with me. You don't like me. Okay, who cares? They admire that strength, but they don't possess it. They admire it, but they don't possess it. They know that they are emotionally attached to a lot of people. They know that they rely on others for all their support. They don't have a real strong bond with the Creator. They can't go it alone. So a lot of times people will walk on eggshells with you when speaking with you, because they know that in a heartbeat, you could be like, you know what? I'm good on you. It makes people very uncomfortable when you are literally chosen by the Most High. It makes them uncomfortable. Let's see. Somebody said, yep, I tell them bye, LOL. Yep. Somebody said, blessings to you, New Breed, in the chat. Thank you, man. Someone says, facts, you got to forget about them folks. Somebody said, blessings, brothers and sisters. Yes. I see y'all still rolling. And as y'all roll in, make sure y'all pound the like button on your way in. Because, you know how they like to do. Chosen ones. You want to know why they're uncomfortable around you? Because they're battling with certain things that they don't want to address. There's a lot of people that's going to gravitate towards you and have this love-hate relationship with you. And here's another thing. There's people who are going to gravitate towards your light in this awakening, but they're going to have these unrealistic expectations of you, to the point where, and let me explain. Let me try to quantify this. I don't want to go over y'all's head. You're still human beings. You're still people. And the moment where you say something that people dislike, because people are so emotionally codependent on others, You know, it's like their whole world shatters. Because you have some people that are, they think, how do I word this? They put so much into you, brothers and sisters, because they know the Most High is working with you. The moment you say something that they disagree with, even if it's true, even if it's true, the scriptures say, have I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Have I therefore become your enemy because I told you something that's true? That's what end up happening, man. And it's like their whole world shatters. This is why it's a thin line between love and hate. There's so many people who want to feed off of your energy, brothers and sisters, that once they show their true colors, you got to believe it. Once they put so much into you where it's like they put you on this pedestal, and then you say something they disagree with, they become your worst enemy. They went from your biggest supporter to your worst enemy. This is how it goes. That shows you it was something that they wanted from you all the time. They had narcissistic tendencies. They wanted to extrapolate something from you. And when they seen they wasn't getting what they wanted from you, ladies and gentlemen, they started to hate you for it. There's a lot of people out here like that. And that's another reason why people are uncomfortable around you, because when you go through this time and time again with people, energy vampires, and those who try to take from you in that way, once you go through this a certain amount of times, you can see them from a mile away. You can literally see them from a mile away. So when they try to approach you, you already have that austere posture. Some of you all know what I'm talking about at the workplace. It'd be that person that's trying to forcibly make their way in your life. As soon as you get to the job, here come this person trying to force their way into your life. Friends are born out of adversity. They come naturally. Why is it that some people find the need to insert themselves in your company all the time? Because they're uncomfortable. That's why. See, majority of the world believe in keeping your enemies close. Chosen ones believe in keeping their enemies as far away from them as possible. That's the difference. So a lot of people be chasing behind y'all, being around y'all, because they are uncomfortable in your presence. It's even your silence. When you're in a social function, the fact that you're quiet, you keep your thoughts to yourself. You're not really trying to hurt nobody with your thoughts. You moving wise. You handling your business. You came to get a job done and get out. You don't want everybody in your face. You don't want to be in everybody's business. You don't want everybody in your business. Why does that make people so uncomfortable? Because that is rare. You're living in a world where everybody's backbiting, gossiping, tearing each other down, hating on each other, gunning for the next one, gunning for this one, gunning for that one. And it's rare a man that stand on principle. It's rare a woman that stand on principle. It's rare. It's foreign to them. They're totally amused, yet frightened, because they don't know how to deal with that, and it makes them hate. And this is what makes people begin to workplace mob you. Some of y'all wonder why. Some of you wonder why you get grossly mistreated at your workplace. It's because the entire job is looking at you like, man, this person is righteous. This person just come to work, mind their business. I wonder what they think about us. And all we do is come in here and we cause chaos, we cause drama. You know, we out here having a good time. We barely working. We doing what we doing. I bet that person thinks we are the worst of the worst. And really, you just trying to live your life, mind your business. They're uncomfortable because you are better than them, but they have this false notion that you walking around thinking that, oh, I'm better than all y'all. No. Y'all can find the Most High too. You can find peace within yourself too. I know some of y'all get tired of talking about other people and then having to go home and feel the guilt because you know you was at work saying things you ain't had no business saying. You can find the Lord too. You could be like that person who's set apart. I know you're tired of that. Trying to cover up your dirt because you said something about this one and that one and this one and that one. I know that got to be exhausting. They're uncomfortable around you chosen ones because you are the total opposite. They're not used to that. Not at all. Somebody said we don't even be thinking about them. Exactly. Somebody said if you're not, it says if you're not causing problems, something wrong with you. Right. Because they see good as evil and evil as good. That's exactly what it is. Because you're not participating in the madness of the world. They have put things in reverse and say, you know, this person is weird. You know, this person, you know, what are they about? They're so mysterious. And it becomes an unhealthy infatuation. This happens in neighborhoods too. Y'all wonder why your neighbors are just overly exertive or nosy, for lack of better terms. They're nosy. Why are they so nosy towards you in your community? You wonder why, chosen ones? Because you're contrary to them. They like, hold on, you know, why they not talking about this person down the street? Why they not all up in the mix? That makes people so damn uncomfortable. I've literally been around people who said certain things, and just my silence alone made them move around in their seat. You can physically see the discomfort. It's like, look, chosen ones are not playing, man. We about our business. We about moving forward. Everything is about forward progress. We are very purpose-driven people. Very purpose-driven. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And a lot of chosen ones, they exhibit certain characteristics. A lot of us don't really like small talk. That's something I noticed. It could be just an attribute that I peeped with chosen ones. A lot of chosen ones don't really like small talk. And I think it's because we're so focused and goal-oriented and purpose-driven that a lot of highly intellectual people who can see things from different spectrums, they really don't waste their time on like small talk that really has no purpose or meaning. Like everything we do have to be intentional. You know, intention is important. That's another reason people get nervous or like uncomfortable around you, because you're just not really with the small talk. It's like, I know a lot of you go through this because I do. I know for a fact. And you get around people and they used to the small talk to kind of make them more comfortable. We don't need that. You know, chosen ones tend to not need that, to be comfortable around people. Matter of fact, with a lot of chosen ones, if you give the right topic of discussion, then that person will talk. A lot of us will be quiet until you bring the right topic up, and then we'll talk. Yo, Ephesians 4:18 says, they are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of the Most High, because of the ignorance that is in them, due to their hardness of heart. Absolutely. And there's a real hardness of heart going on with a lot of people, man. It truly is. And, you know, chosen ones, a lot of people have been asking me, because there's been a lot of people on their initial spiritual awakening, you know, learning this truth, gaining an understanding of what's going on. And a lot of people inboxed me recently like, bro, why is it that a lot of people are uncomfortable around me? I mean, like, what's going on? I come into a room and there's this silence, this deafening silence, or people, you know, would just act a certain way. Well, I'm telling you the reasons why. You're being set apart. You're changing. Once you start honoring God's law, statutes, and commandments, once you start, you know, really getting out of a hive mentality and thinking out the box, and not being afraid to speak highly of yourself, and as well as speak truth and have be set apart. You know, once you're doing these things, people don't really know how to really act about that. They don't know how to be around you, especially if they fake all the time, especially if they people who are chameleons and grifters. Everywhere they go, they got to put on a mask. That's most people. Most people these days are putting on a facade. They're acting a certain way around people. But the fact that you keeping it real, they don't know how to deal with somebody who's just authentic. They don't quite comprehend your authenticity. It's like, yo, this person is really sure of themselves. It's not that. It's just that you are pure with who you are. You know, that people just can't deal with that, man. I mean, you know, personally, I only like being around real people, man, with real intentions. I don't deal with average people, mundane people, just people who are real, you know, upfront, straightforward, authentic, original, you know, real people. People who are set apart, who have their own thoughts, and people who, most of all, don't don't have an issue with other people having their own opinions and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can agree to disagree. It don't affect our walk. It don't affect who we are as people. If somebody sees something another way, we're gonna stand on our on business anyway. We're gonna stand on what we believe anyway. And we're gonna mean what we say and say what we mean. So, hey, look, if you're making people uncomfortable, that's a good thing. Let them talk behind your back. Let them be uncomfortable. Chosen ones, it is what it is. I just wanted to come through with a quick live stream. I got more content coming. Turn the post notification bell on so you can get these videos as they being uploaded. Thank y'all. With that being said, shalom and peace.